Hey Dragonfly Swarm, so Kokomi is the new 5-star Hydro Catalyst user coming to Genshin Impact in around a week, and there's been a lot of controversy surrounding her kit. And I wouldn't entirely say it's surprising. I mean, from what official information we've been given about her kit, it seems quite weird and different for a Genshin character, in a few ways. Before I start though, I kinda wanna bring up that a very small amount of people who regularly watch my videos have subscribed, so if you haven't and you like my content, it'd be awesome if you could. Only if you want though. So before anyone, myself included, writes her off as an unoriginal millionth time done healer character, there's some pretty interesting things to take into account with her kit. Keep in mind all of this information is official information from miHoYo. To start, Kokomi doesn't have any use for crit stats as her crit rate is innately negative 100%, and many people have made jokes about this, myself included again, but I've given it some thought. Though we won't know her ability scaling numbers until release, what we do officially know is that a lot of her abilities scale with her max HP, the damage her attacks deal during her burst, her elemental skills healing, her own team healing during her burst, etc. So already by negating the use of 2 stats and heavily benefiting from 1 HP, Kokomi is likely going to be extremely efficient to build. But on top of that, she's essentially buffing her entire kit, aka her damage output and healing, by focusing on building HP, which, you know, also makes her a massive tank. It's weirdly reminiscent of her strategist personality because the kit itself is literally sacrificing a necessary part of almost all character kits, crit stats, in order to buff every other possible aspect of the kit. Now the usefulness of this max HP scaling all depends on her numbers, which as I said, we won't know until release. So technically this could mean nothing, but miHoYo wouldn't just negate a character's ability to crit and then announce it to the world if they didn't have other ways of making the character cracked. What I mean by that is, it's very unlikely miHoYo would release Kokomi with no crit stats unless the rest of her kit has crazy scaling to make up for it. In terms of her controversy, a lot of people are upset because she's yet another healer, and we already have a lot of those. Trust me, even I wasn't pleased to find out Kokomi was a healer, but the thing is, she plays almost as a full-on hybrid healer slash swap DPS. This is because during her burst, she has a set duration where her attacks deal increased damage based on her max HP and heal her entire team per attack, also based on her max HP, which makes her weirdly similar to Raiden Shogun in that during her burst she becomes a one-woman army who can dish out damage and heal her entire team at the same time. And while we do have healers that perform similarly in Jean, whose attacks heal teammates, and Chi-Chi, who marks enemies that heal teammates when they attack, Kokomi brings an entirely new style to this table. She's able to potentially massively increase her own damage and healing output simply by building her HP, which if her numbers are good, will make her a true one-woman army during her burst, tanking massive damage, dealing massive damage, and healing her entire team while mermaid bossing her way through life. So, to quell many players' concerns as to her inability to use crit stats, Kokomi has a ton of utility and scaling potential in her kit, and we haven't even seen her numbers. If they're even remotely okay numbers, she's already gonna have a huge impact on teams given all that she can provide. And trust me, this is coming from a skeptic. Before I really sat down and thought about it, I just assumed she'd be useless without crit rate. Finally, regarding those who are skeptical about Kokomi's usefulness because of Genshin not really needing new healers right now, myself included, again. miHoYo has built quite a reputation of making us need 5 stars. See, Zhongli was released and suddenly much of the in-game environment practically begged you to have a shield wherever you went. Nowadays, shields are just normal for people to use, whereas they used to be quite optional, even in the Spiral Abyss. The same goes with Ayaka. She's a character who heavily benefits from freeze comps, and what happened when she was released? A new Spiral Abyss rework which not only heavily favored cryo users, but was really only weak to freeze comps, in which you could freeze powerful enemies and deal with them safely without worrying about getting one-shot. In Kokomi's case, I'm almost positive miHoYo will find a way to make her and upcoming characters like her vital characters to the meta. It wouldn't be difficult to make the game push you to have powerful healers, just as it wasn't difficult to have the game push for powerful shielders. And that's not by any means to say that they're gonna force you to have Kokomi. I mean, people survived without Zhongli, using characters like Diona and Xinyan, etc. There are great substitutes to Kokomi, but in a future where healing is more important than it is right now, Kokomi would be a very appealing meta character given how insanely engaging and unique her kit is at the end of the day. So overall, I think people have really underestimated Kokomi, not entirely without basis, but still, even I think there's more to this mermaid seashell lady than it seems, and I genuinely do not care for healers. Anyways, if you like this video and you want to see more content like it, please feel free to subscribe, and I just remembered I already asked that once in this video, so moving on. If you want to, you can also join my Discord server or follow my Twitch stream. As usual, those links are down below. And I am now gonna go do anything but prepare for Kokomi, because despite her mermaid bossness and potentially massive meta shifts, I am allergic to fish. That was a lie.